What is up everyone, welcome back to another video. FPL Harry here, and today we're having a look at a 3 premium draft. Every video I put out there's a comment of you don't have Son or you don't have Kane, but no one wants to take out Salah or Haaland either. So today we're going to have a look at pulling together a draft that has all three of Salah, Haaland and a Tottenham asset as well. So welcome back to another video everyone. Thank you very much for joining. So as I mentioned in the introduction, today we're going to have a look at a draft that includes 3 premiums. And not just any 3 premiums, 3 of the most highly sought after premiums that you can own in the game at the moment. A lot of us are trying to decide between going with Haaland or going with Kane or going with Son on top of Salah. Salah seems to be nailed in everyone's teams and then it's one of the others. If you're going without Salah, let me know in the comment section down below because there are a few doing it. And I do like what you can do with a team, but I think if I was going to go with Kane and with Haaland, I'd want Salah in there as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with these 3 premiums, and I've gone with Harry Kane over Son for a small amount of money saving. With a team with 3 premiums, you really have to be saving all those 0.5s that you can here and there to allow you to afford a good squad around these 3 players. So I have gone with Kane over Son. I think they're pretty 50-50 cool anyway now that the prices are so similar. You could have gone with KDB over Haaland again, but again, 0.5 saving makes Haaland a more obvious pick. But what's going to be important is I'm going to take you through 2 different 3 premium drafts. The first premium draft has got Jesus in there as well. Now, I don't necessarily think a 3 premium draft with Salah, Haaland, Jesus and Kane all in there is actually a very viable strategy. And once we've pulled the whole team together, you'll see why it's a little bit of a weak squad when it comes to sort of the 11th starting player every week. At the end, I'll show you what you could do if you decided not to go with Jesus, which I think is probably what you'd have to do if you decided not to go with a 3 premium draft. So we're going to do a team that's got all of these. In goal is where we cover the Manchester City defence. So we're going to try and still own all of these big players. The Liverpool defence, the Chelsea defence, the Manchester City defence, those highly owned midfielders as well. We'll try and own them all. So in terms of the Manchester City defence, we can't afford Cancelo. What we've done is we've gone with Ederson. Ederson is the cheapest way into that Manchester City defence at the moment. Of course, if the no Cucurella signs, like I spoke at in my recent draft video, Walker at 5 million could be an absolute bargain if he looks like he's going to start every single week for Manchester City. But right now, we don't know that, so we've gone with Ederson and goal and then a 4 million backup because we're pretty happy to play Ederson every single week. Into the defence, again, we try and cover a few of these. Now, we have gone with Robertson over Trent. I think they're pretty similar. You could free up a little bit of money, for example, going with Alisson in goal and then going Cancelo in defence. You could downgrade Zinchenko, for example, and go Trent. There are a few ways that you could afford Trent if you really wanted to, but for me, I needed the rest of the money elsewhere for this squad. So Robertson is in there. Again, I think he's a great start to the season. He was really good at the end of last season, and for 7 million, he's still an absolute bargain. Next in, we have Arsenal new signing Zinchenko. Now, if I knew that Ben White or I knew that Tomiyasu was going to start the season and play consistently throughout the sort of first 8 game weeks for Arsenal, then I'd probably go with them again to save that 0.5 million. However, we don't really know that. Tomiyasu might not be fit, and then there is a bit of rotation risk for Ben White playing at centre-back along with Saliba. So I've gone with Zinchenko because I feel like he's the most nailed option there. He will probably start the season at left-back because Tierney doesn't look like he's fully fit, but the expectation is he will move into midfield to play alongside either Partey or Xhaka once he is fully fit. Elsewhere in the defence, we have covered Chelsea again. We've gone with Reece James. Probably the most owned Chelsea defender at the moment. Great going up that right-hand side. Still prefer him to Chilwell because for me, Chilwell has come back from the injury. We don't quite know what we're going to get from him, so I have gone with Reece James over him. Again, you can make a little bit of a tweak and go with Mendy in goal and then try and get Cancelo in over Reece James in there as well. But again, that's sort of not quite enough money. You could go and get Diaz, Laporte, but I don't prefer them as much as I like Reece James. So that's why I've got James in there. And then the 4th defender we've got is Trippier. Now, 5 million, again, you could go with a 4.5 option in the likes of Aït-Nouri. You could go with Dalot. You could go with Dunk, again, one of the Arsenal guys, if they're fit and upgrade elsewhere. But I really like what Trippier can offer. 3 really nice fixtures in the opening 5 as well. He's on set pieces, corners, indirect free kicks as well, and that assist threat from open play. He is a great option even at 5 million. So we've got a pretty premium defence in here as well, plus owning Salah, Haaland, Jesus and Kane in there as well. And the final one we've got is Neco Williams. So if you are going to try and fit 3 premiums in and Jesus Jesus, you are going to have some of these bench options, and Neco Williams is definitely one that we can look to do that. A 4 million starting defender, you could go Patterson at Everton, who looks pretty nailed on as well at 4 million. Slightly prefer the Forest defence. I'm not sure what we're going to get for Everton, although Patterson did get a couple of assists in the most recent pre-season friendly as well. So I'm quite happy with the team and how the defence is looking. We do have to save a bit of money in midfield, and we'll talk about the formation that we play at the end. But in terms of the midfielders that we fill in, so there are two 4.5 midfielders. Now Pereira seems to be playing number 10, just behind Mitrovic for Fulham, and he's on set pieces as well. So I'm very happy with him, both in this draft and in any draft you're pulling together. For me, Pereira is that number one 4.5 million midfielder. Now, their opening fixtures are not great, which isn't ideal, but there are a couple of fixtures like Brentford at home that you could look to play him in if you do want to rotate him in and out of your squad. Next up, we have De Silva. At the moment, none of the other 4.5 midfielders are really going to start, apart from Pereira, because he moved from Manchester United to Fulham. De Silva was going to play a few games. He looked like he'd come in for Eriksen, but hasn't been playing that much in pre-season. He looks like he'll get game time off the bench, though, pretty much every game. So because you've got Neco Williams, because you've got Pereira in there as well, he can sit last on your bench, and you don't really need him anyway. So that's fine. I wouldn't worry too much about him. Pereira and Neco Williams are the true bench options you've got here. Now, elsewhere, of course, Neto's in here. 5.5 million. He offers such good value. I was never going to change him. And then the other one we've got is Leon Bailey of Aston Villa. Now, there's been a lot of talk and a lot of hype about Leon Bailey and how he's performed in pre-season so far. Every time he plays, he changes the game. And Gerrard has come out and said that Bailey has proven and he has shown that he wants to be starting and he wants to be part of the 11 going into the new season. He's absolutely done that. He's scored goals. He's got assists. He's completely changed the game when he's come on and not started. And when he has started, he's performed really, really well. Now, 5 million, he is a bit of an enabler. You don't have to start him every week. You can bring him in and out of your squad depending on what the game week looks like and depending on if you think he's going to start. So in terms of the starting 11 for this team, you play Ederson in goal every week. You play a back four of Zinchenko, Robertson, Reece James and Trippier. You play Salah and Neto, and then up front you play Haaland, Jesus and Harry Kane. And that basically means you've got to play one of Leon Bailey, Pereira or Neco Williams every single game week. So that's what I mean when I said at the beginning of the video, that sort of 11th man in this squad is a bit weak. But if you do want all of these premiums, I do think this squad allows you to do that. Pereira and Neco Williams can rotate quite well. You can pretty much play Bailey every week. He might not start, but he's looked so good off the bench. And if he doesn't start, I do expect him to get on the pitch around the 60th minute and get a half an hour anyway. I'm pretty happy with how this team lines up. Now, it does leave you with nothing in the bank. We have spoken about a couple of ways that you could maybe move a little bit of money around. But to be honest, if I was going with 3 premiums, I just don't think you can get Jesus in there as well. I've really tried to shoehorn him in this team and I don't love exactly how it's worked. So if you want to go with them all, great. This is the team that I think I would go with at the moment. But I am going to show you what a team would look like if I decided to go without Jesus. So I've removed only the players that are going to change. A lot of them have stayed the same. We don't need to worry about that, and highlighted Jesus in red because of course he's the one that we're going to focus on moving and downgrading. We are going to cover him with another Arsenal option. So there is going to be Arsenal attack in there, but it does just help with a little bit of flexibility. If you are enjoying, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. We are getting so close to the goal of 25,000 subscribers by the start of the season. Make sure you're subscribed, join the league code above, which does have a prize of a football shirt. You could win one like this, which is a limited edition one. You could win that, your choice of football shirt, at the end of the season. So make sure you've liked, subscribed, but let's get into this second team. So of course Jesus has got to come out, and these are the players that are going to fill the gap. So we've got Cancelo in defence, which is probably the big thing that we've got here. We've downgraded, we've moved from Ederson to Raya in goal, and actually looking at the opening fixtures for Brighton, apart from the first two, they've looked really good. The signing of Ben Mee as well, I think will really assure their defence, and I think they are capable of keeping a number of clean sheets, and Raya makes saves and he's good for bonus points as well. This has allowed us to get Cancelo in, and that is what I really much prefer about looking at this draft versus the previous draft that we looked at. He is that main Manchester City defensive option. He will get bonus points, he'll score goals, he'll get assists that you just won't get from Ederson, and that 1.5 difference is 100% worth it. Then into midfield, we do have that Arsenal cover, and we have covered it with Martinelli. Smith Rowe doesn't look like he's going to be fit to start the season, and they are not signing another winger, which means for me, Martinelli will be nailed on that left-hand side. So although we don't have Saka, although we don't have Jesus as well, we do have a really nice explosive option at an affordable price as well. And then, of course, to fill that sort of void up front, we've taken Jesus out, and we have filled it with Archer of Aston Villa with a 4.5. So with this team, you'd be playing sort of a 5-3-2 formation every week. In midfield, you'd probably choose between Neto and Bailey every week and Martinelli in there as well. Or you could even bench one of the defenders if they have a difficult week, for example, when Trippier has a difficult game. So to be honest, again, this leaves no money in the bank. If I was going to go for a team that had 3 premiums, it would probably do this, and I'd have to downgrade Jesus to Martinelli, which is the big difference to what we had in the first draft, and it allows you to go and get Cancelo in there. Let me know what you think. Have you got 3 premiums in your draft at the moment? If you were going to pick one, which of these 2 teams would you go for? Big Jesus debate versus Cancelo. I don't think you can own both. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Any questions about your team? We are getting to almost only a week before the start of the season as well, so hopefully your teams are in a good state like mine is. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you've liked the video, subscribe to the channel. Again, closing in on 25,000 subscribers. You lot are the absolute best. Thank you all for watching, and I'll be back again very soon.